morning, good 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 morning. That's right, it's a wonderful Wednesday. It is November 4th, 2020. Happy to have each and every one of you joining us on this beautiful morning. Hope everybody had a restful and peaceful, well, then again, for some of us it was not filled with too much sleep, but nevertheless we made it to daylight. Good morning, everybody. Those of you joining us on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20. And good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7. To the folks joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, from as far north as Jamaica, far south as Guyana, far northeast of Grenada as Barbados, or far southwest as the ABC Islands, all the islands in between. Special, spicy good morning to each and every one of you. And those of you joining us internationally as well, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. To the folks in the U.S., for a lot of you, it has been filled with as little sleep as you could manage. You went to sleep last night waiting on the results, and you woke up this morning still waiting on the results. We are monitoring the U.S. elections. The thing Coconia Solia. When I tell you, Coconia is tight up there. We'll get more into that a little bit later, but first off, let's start as usual with this morning's word of the day. This morning's word of the day is erudite. Erudite, E-R-U-D-I-T-E, erudite, is an adjective which means having or showing knowledge that is gained by studying. Erudite. It derives from the Latin word, which is a past participle of the verb which means to instruct. A closer look at the verb shows that it is formed by combining the prefix e, meaning missing or absent, with the adjective rudis, which means rude or ignorant. We typically use rude to mean discourteous or uncouth, but it can also mean lacking refinement or uncivilized. Taking these meanings into account, erudite stays true to its etymology. Someone who is erudite has been transformed from a roughened or uninformed state to a polished and knowledgeable one through a devotion to learning. Word of the day this morning is erudite, E-R-U-D-I-T-E, an adjective which means having or showing knowledge that is gained by studying. And let's see what's this morning's thought of the day as you go about your Wednesday. If you are positive, you'll see opportunities instead of obstacles. If you are positive, you'll see opportunities instead of obstacles. It's all about your outlook. It's all about how you see things, how you visualize things, how you internalize and approach things. That would determine what is before you. Is this an opportunity to step forward? Is this an opportunity to grow and develop? Or would you see it as an obstacle in your way? But if you have a positive mindset, a positive attitude, a positive approach, you'll see it as an opportunity. You'll see it as a chance. So as you go about your Wednesday, keep this in mind. If you are positive, you'll see opportunities instead of obstacles. Not a lot celebrated today, November 4th, 2020, but today it is Stress Awareness Day. It's a fitting day today. Stress Awareness Day. The first Wednesday in November aims to identify and reduce the stress factors in your life. 2020 elections bringing stress for some of us. They're taking too long with the thing. They're taking too long. The stress ripe this morning. They're taking too close for comfort. Let's see what else is celebrated today. It is also Candy Day. We hope your sweet tooth is ready because Candy Day is here. Sweet and sour treats have been our favorite snacks since childhood, so go ahead and indulge today on Candy Day. And today it is also Chicken Lady Day. Chicken Lady Day sounds like a food-related holiday or perhaps a witty homage to the character played by Mark McKinney in The Kids in the Hall, but it's not really related to either of those things. Chicken Lady Day is named in honor of Dr. Tina Dupree, a businesswoman and motivational speaker. Okay. Dupree's inspiring story and successful business acumen led to a meeting with President George W. Bush. Chicken Lady Day is meant to honor Dupree's efforts to raise educational standards in her communities. So why will they call it Chicken Lady? Lord, but okay. It's Chicken Lady Day today in honor of her efforts to raise educational standards in her community. All right, fair enough. All right, let's see. Update on the U.S. election. Well, as the reports have been coming in, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the 2020 elections in the U.S., presidential elections, that's just what it is, a marathon. There are millions, not thousands, millions of votes still to be counted. So far, of the 270 electoral votes that either candidate may need to win, up to just after 5 o'clock this morning, former Vice President Joe Biden was in front with 225 electoral votes. The incumbent, President Donald Trump, was just behind him with 213 electoral votes. The race, or should I say the marathon, to 270 electoral votes continues. According to the CNN, Mr. Biden is on 224 electoral votes. I've seen reports coming out of ABC for 225 electoral votes. And President Trump is on 213 electoral votes. Overnight, President Trump, while claiming victory, also spoke of intentions to go to court because of how the ballots are coming in. He was surprised that they were in front, and then according to him, everything just stopped. So President Trump is already looking to the future according to how the elections roll out. Mr. Biden is saying, let's wait and see. He is confident that he would claim victory in this 2020 presidential elections. So the wait continues for the seat of president. Leader of the free world who would walk into the White House as president remains to be seen. There have been reports that hopefully by the end of today, they should have a winner. There are others who are saying following that there may be a call for a review of the results, and that would take until Friday, God willing. So we're in for a stretch of a week in relation to the U.S. presidential elections, but so far Joe Biden is in front with 224 of the 270 electoral votes that is needed to win the victory or to claim the victory, while U.S. President Donald Trump, the incumbent, is just behind him with 213 electoral votes. So let's wait and see. Of course, we here at the GBN would continue to follow the proceedings, and as they come in, we will definitely share it with you, our viewers and listeners. I know most of you are tuned in and waiting with bated breath to see how this all plays out. I am also anxious, so let's see what happens for the 2020 U.S. presidential elections. And just as a heads up, those of you with respiratory issues, there is some Sahara dust in the atmosphere. The heavy rains earlier this week did very little to wash away the dust. So keep that in mind. It's not as much as it was earlier this year, but it's still enough for the health officials to signal a warning that be mindful that it is in the atmosphere. So if you are asthmatic or you have other respiratory illnesses, keep that in mind. Walk with your inhalers if you need them, your asthma pumps if you need them, just in case. It's not plentiful, but it's enough. All right, let's get ready for the news. This is Good Morning Grenada. I'm going to bring you the morning edition of news for those of you on radio and those of you on our visual platforms. We're going to bring you a mixture of last evening's newscast as well as updates for the U.S. presidential elections. We're ensuring that you are up to date with all the information you need. Stick and stay. This is Good Morning Grenada, Classic GBN Hot 98. We'll be right back.
Is the corollary in Pennsylvania, what Democrats are saying, why they have hope, why they believe that there's a pathway, even though it's 677,000 votes, is that it's more Milwaukee County than it is red counties where they just have to hope that it's all vote by mail and it heavily skews Dems. So there is a lot of Democratic vote outstanding. That does not necessarily mean Pennsylvania is on the path to flipping. One place where it does seem like there's a better, quicker, easier pathway to Democrats is the state of Michigan. Look, we've talked about Wayne County a ton. Obviously, it's a huge county, still 52% outstanding. 18% of the population lives here, votes here. That will be big when it comes in, and there's a lot that's still outstanding here. But what I want to point out is the other big Democratic strongholds. You know, we talk about Wisconsin, and you say, well, Milwaukee County was the only real blue county that was still out here. You can go into Ingham County. This breaks heavy towards Democrats, only 69% reporting right now. You can move over into Kalamazoo. This breaks towards Democrats, only 80% reporting right now. So you look at the top line, again, 200,000 votes, which Donald Trump leads by right now, is not small. Is not small. But when you have Wayne, when you have Ingham, when you have Kalamazoo, these are Democratic counties. The vote's going to come in Democratic, and it will likely come in mail, and that will skew even more Democratic, at least based on what we've seen over the course of the night. So Michigan, and look, you just saw it go down a little bit more. Now Donald Trump up by 200,000 votes. Michigan Democrats feel more comfortable about because they have pathways that appear to be more clear. That said, you've said it throughout the course of the night. There are variables here we don't know or understand, and that 200,000 votes, when Donald Trump won the state by just over 10,000 in 2016, is obviously, you'd much rather be the guy with 200,000 than not. But what I'm saying is the outstanding vote, there are more Democratic strongholds that are outstanding. That's going to drop. Right. The question for Biden is, does it drop enough? Does he flip it as that vote comes in over the course of the next couple hours?
And look, the answer was never to cheat the count, okay? Of course that's tempting. Of course the president's about hyperbole and every other mild word you want to put on it because it's Election Day. But listen, if you're left, right, or reasonable, you want the win to be solid, okay? That's what we need in this country. No question. Somebody's got to win, and that's it. You suck it up, and we have to find a way forward. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then this analysis is making the state of play in the Senate all the more important now. So we will give you an update on where that stands right after this.
Good evening to our viewers and listeners on K105. This is GBN News at 7. Local police are trying to mend broken relationships. They are reviewing the tapes and listening to public conversations about how to improve on their quota of public trust. The local populace has been very vocal about the need for a public outreach by the police following the Fontenoy shooting episode.
It is a must that the police have a connect with the public and the citizens at large. However, we looking at these things as being simple or just, things that we could speak about and do nothing about after we speak about it. And I am saying that we should do something about it. We should get people here in Grenada, or even though we seek help from abroad, to, do something about it, because the family in Fontenoy is hurting. The family of the police officers is hurting. And what is happening with them after? Nothing is really happening. The police reached out to the family in Fontenoy today and maybe would have tried to patch. But after today, what happened? Would they go back? Would they continue the process? The officers who was involved, they merely had nothing to do with the situation in Fontenoy.
My comment, okay, listening. Social service, even Mr. Pancho and what he's saying there, I disappointed, okay, because as a layman and I listen to this man, I could have feel this man pay with GBN interview, okay, and it is correct what the lawyer from New York is saying, Grenadian born. They should have reached out to this man from day one, okay, according to what this man has said. And the next thing, conflict resolution was introduced to Grenada, and it also was introduced to the police. Why they're not practicing it? Grenada is a herd society, and it go way back from the revolution. A lot of things was never dealt with. We need to deal with it. And it keep on coming up. You can't want to be treating people like if there's animals. They're going to react back at you. If you put it back against a wall, they're going to hit back. This man shouldn't have lost his life like that. I'm really sorry, and I'm also sorry for the police officer.
Several people were cast between a rock and a hard place as they weighed in on the discourse surrounding the actions taken by Trevor Regis, who was outraged by the police shooting of his son. None has been heard to publicly condone his stabbing of 2 police officers in the city last Friday. And now a Grenadian attorney who is based in New York is sifting through the case for commonalities. He wonders whether it could be summed up as a suicide mission. GBN's Christina John has been on that story and continues to examine some of the intricate details.
When one person hurts, the entire community feels the ache. In this instance, 2 sets of families are in pain, following Friday's fatal stabbing of 2 police officers and the shooting of 1 man, later resulting in his death. One begs the question, was it a suicide mission by the now deceased? The story continues to spark questions from all around.
I want to say this. There has been 2 major police incidents in Grenada in a decade. Oscar Bartholomew and now this incident. And both parents end up dead.
Yes.
The mother committed suicide. Now the father shot dead. It's a suicide.
Suicide again.
Suicide by cop. Mm-hmm. You know, when a man take a knife and he goes starving police officers, that's what you call suicide by cop. That's what we call it here in the States. Something is wrong, and the police, Royal Police, Canadian Police Force, have to take that into consequences, into deep consideration.
That was Denison George, a Grenadian attorney based in New York. He was guest on Monday night's Beyond the Headlines program. George believes that police officers need to think twice before applying force in certain situations.
I think 3 main points. Police officers have to know when they pull the trigger, there are going to be consequences. So before you pull your trigger, it has to be justified. No.
In a discussion with GBN, an interviewee pointed out that police officers may be stressed and under pressure and need some form of counseling. Clinical psychologist Dr. Augustine Panchu echoed similar sentiments. However, he suggests that there could be other triggers.
When people have authority, sometimes it's misguided of them to think that they can enforce laws and that they can use that force and authority to circumnavigate the natural course of justice. And it could be, and I'm not saying that's what it was because I haven't spoken to either, but I'm saying sometimes that happens, and I agree the caller that person asking the question is making some sense. It could be stressors, but it also could be a misguided sense of having authority and being able to use it.
Dr. Pancho believes the Minister for National Security has a role to perform and should step forward in addressing this situation, since it is a national security issue.
We're not in the business of hurting people. We're in the business of upholding the law. And that's a message that needs to come out from the Minister for National Security as well as the Commissioner of Police to let the nation know that it is a tragedy when something like that happens, but there is a process of healing that can take place, and the need for community policing, the need for us looking out for each other, and a wiser choice in decision making is a process that could be advocated for, where we do not take the law into our own hands, but even though the wheels of justice seem to grind slow, we try to make every other choice to ensure that we get justice, but not through violence and force.
As unfortunate as the circumstances have been, those addressing the issue say the positive that have emerged from the shooting at Gove several months ago and the recent Fontenoy incident is that a conversation has started. They hope that the police and the National Security Ministry will not let this crisis go to waste, but seek instead to continue the discussion and implement actions which will create greater trust between the police and the people they swear to serve without fear or favor. Christina John, GBN News.
While the Regis family mourns the loss of their patriarch and hope for the full recovery of swim coach Chris Regis, two other family groupings are hanging tough. They are praying for full recovery of their relatives who were stabbed by the senior Mr. Regis. The father of the female police officer who was stabbed by Regis called into GBN's Beyond the Headlines program on Monday night to highlight some pertinent issues.
A father's ordeal, coping with the fate of his wounded daughter while in the line of duty. He spoke fervently about his daughter's recovery process with the hope that all will work for the best.
I don't have a problem because I know in life you have to accept things the way it comes. It's not that you like it or you dislike it. It just happened and you just have to take it for that.
Father of the female police officer wounded in Friday's stabbing incident in St. George. While his daughter remains hospitalized and recovering, he dispelled claims made by members of the public that his daughter lost consciousness.
Well, I just stay and I just waiting and hoping that my daughter will recover from the injuries. I mean, based on what the doctor explained to me or to us, and concerning the wound that my daughter gets, and as I see. The doctors, they will never tell you, they will never give you the idea that the situation is so bad, right? But then on the other hand, when you check on the wound, it could be very serious. Yes, she might survive for a couple of days, but the same way she could die. She was never unconscious.
Okay.
She was never unconscious. People say no kind of thing about it. She was never unconscious.
Okay.
The only thing that she might have happened to her, she might have been weak because of the amount of blood she might have lost. A lot of blood and things, and she thinks. But she could talk.
While
her situation is serious.
The gentleman spoke strongly against dissemination of unreliable information by some members of the media fraternity.
On Friday night, I listened to Mikey Hutchison, where he said he had an eyewitness to the incident on Friday. When I listened to the eyewitness, this eyewitness had never seen what went on. Never seen what went on. And I will make it quite clear even though. Now, the police in particular is my daughter, right? I'm not creating a problem because what happened already happened. But when you listen to what transpired, how it transpired, this eyewitness had never ever seen nothing. Where the news is disseminating, that's creating more and more problem between the police and the people.
As a parent himself, he leaves a note to other parents.
The problem I have is that, okay, I have children, and a lot of us have children. When children goes out, when they leave our presence, and they go out and they meet their friends, they get on in all kind of way and form and fashion. You, other parents, will not see what they're doing. I, other parents, will not see what they're doing. But when we end up in trouble on the wrong side of the law, we boast about how nice and how loving and how caring our children is. Rather than even going out first to find out what is the situation, what happened, what transpired.
A difficult time, no doubt, but standing like a beacon of hope and an example to others on how to take things in strides, even if they spark your righteous anger. Christina John, GBN News.
Welcome back to News at 7. There are questions about whether airport manager Wendy Francette Williams has indeed tendered her resignation. Last week, Tourism Minister Dr. Clarice Modest-Kerwin said she had. Today, she was challenged during a press conference about exactly what were the facts, since the airport manager seemed to recall a different version of events. Joseph Kador picks up that story.
Last week, the minister said Francette Williams had resigned. Other reports in circulation said that was not the case. The minister was asked to say what the real position was.
I think maybe a review of what I said needs to be, undertaken. I didn't say I was in discussions with her on her vacation, her leave. She had expressed the the desire to take leave. As a matter of fact, it was done in writing. So maybe there might be some misinterpretations. So at this point in time, I'll just leave it that way. She has proceeded on vacation, and I did say that her vacation was due somewhere towards the end of December, not at the end of the month, but subsequently I learned it she had a few days in January. So that is something that had to be rectified, and I'm doing that. But no, that it wasn't the end of December. It is her leave ends in January. But it's common practice that before if whatever happens, and if your contract has expired, you need to take your leave, and then decisions are made as to whether your leave is your tenure could be renewed or terminated. So she has taken her leave, and this has been done in writing.
The minister did say on GBN's To The Point program that Mrs. Williams had resigned.
The GM did have some vacation that were owing to her. Her contract has expired, and therefore the GM decided to take some vacation pending. She has decided to resign and take some vacation pending that time of resignation. The resignation takes effect from the end of the month.
Today, during a ministerial briefing, she was pressed on the subject based on the reports that the airport manager never tendered her resignation.
The information or the informant was wrong, I don't know, or the interpretation, but certainly I did not have that conversation with her about demanding anything, so there's a misunderstanding there. So let us leave it at that. She has taken her, she has requested her vacation, and she's on vacation.
The whole issue stemmed from Grenada lacking firefighting aggregates at the airport, and this resulted in the airport losing its Category 9 certification. It happened under the watch of Mrs. Williams, and the government was furious because it came just as Virgin Atlantic and British Airways had announced the resumption of services. The chain of events seemed blurry as to whether she jumped or was pushed. Whichever way the cookie crumbled or the knitwear unraveled, there is no doubt that Francette Williams has taken a fall for causing major embarrassment to the country. Joseph Cador, GBN News.
Staying with news of the airports and flights, there is no word yet on whether Grenada will be on the new schedule, but the fact is that Liat is back in the skies and brings a glimmer of hope. The regional carrier has taken to the skies for the first time in 7 months. The Antiguan-based carrier made its inaugural post-COVID-19 flight on the weekend. GBN's Rina Pear reports.
Following a 7-month absence, Liat operated its first flight on Sunday, November 1st from the VC Bird International Airport in Antigua to Dominica. The Caribbean airline will operate a limited schedule of flights when it launches its commercial schedule later this month, which will return connectivity to its network, which was impacted by the shutdown. Liat is currently completing all the training and regulatory requirements for the territories it will be flying to. Minister for Tourism and Investment in Antigua and Barbuda, Charles Fernandez, says his country is happy to see Liat back in the air.
For generations has played an important role in bringing people, cargo throughout the region, business people. And I mean, it's just really, really exciting to see Liat take off and land again today. I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has made this day special. I know there are a number of people that have been called back out to Liat. And we are hoping that with time, as the airline expands and as business picks back up after this COVID nightmare is over, that we'll be able to see more and more people coming back to work at Liat. Very, very important.
several new procedures will be implemented to ensure the safety of passengers as well as reduce the risk of transmission of COVID. Dominica's Tourism Minister Dennis Charles welcomed the airline back into Dominica following its arrival in the country on Sunday afternoon.
I am delighted to welcome back Liat, the Caribbean airline, to Dominica. This is a momentous occasion for the government and people of Antigua for many reasons. Not only does this flight signal the return of Liat to the skies, but today is also Antigua and Barbuda's 49-year independence.
The airline was forced to suspend services in April 2020 due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Liat is being reconstructed to improve its viability and sustainability following a decision by the government of Antigua and Barbuda to reorganize the airline. There is no word yet about the airline's flight schedule or when it may start flying to Grenada again. Scores of workers here have been unemployed since the airline was forced out of the skies by COVID-19. While the airline is headquartered in Antigua and Barbuda, it will operate to several destinations across the Caribbean, which will be announced later in the month. It remains to be seen whether Grenada will be on the schedule. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Meanwhile, tourism officials are worried that they may have just made 2 steps forward and 10 backward. Just 1 week after celebrating the return of the first long-haul flight to the Maurice Bishop International Airport, there's bad news out of Europe. Several European countries are once again in lockdown mode following a spike in the coronavirus cases. As we hear in this report, this has negative implications for Grenada and other tourism-dependent territories.
Just as local tourism officials entered celebratory mode last week, the air was sucked out of the room. On the weekend, Britain announced that it was enforcing a new period of lockdown until the first half of December in the first instance. People will only be allowed to travel for work and other essential services. Other European countries followed suit. This put a damper on tourism-dependent businesses, which thought that they were about to emerge from the shadows of the coronavirus. CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Patricia Ma, hopes that the recently reinstated British Airways and Virgin Atlantic flights will continue despite the new set of challenges.
We heard over the weekend, actually, that the UK government has made the decision to lock down England for a period of 4 weeks. So we were actually on the phone this morning with British Airways, and we have yet to hear how that will impact the schedule to the destination. We were very happy to resume the services with British Airways and Virgin Atlantic Airways coming in twice a week as of the end of October. And the UK market is our second largest international source market, so it's a very critical market for us as well.
The CEO says that they will be working along with the airlines to try and determine how they could proceed. Tourism Minister Dr. Clarice Modest-Cohen said that they have been speaking with the British Airways to establish a more convenient COVID-19 testing mechanism for travellers coming to Grenada. The minister explains that she is not certain as to the kind of tests that will be administered, but maintains government support of PCR testing.
So I just want to mention too that we've been talking to American Airlines on a similar matter. They too want to do testing. That one, I'm sure, it's a PCR. It's PCR. The one with the British, I am not sure.
The minister was ecstatic about the return of BIA and Virgin flights, but acknowledges that COVID-19 is sending tourism on a seesaw ride. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Rubis is giving you more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
From Monday, November 2nd to Thursday, December 31st, GBN's Christmas Caravan will be blazing the trail of goodness across Grenada. Join us as we journey daily to find the hottest deals this Christmas season. Win prizes from our partners. Get recipes for your favorite Christmas treats and bust a tune in the Christmas Karaoke Fun segment. It's GBN's Christmas Caravan. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Live on Classic Radio 105.5 and 105.9. GBN Television. Channels 7 and 11. GBN's Facebook page and GBN's YouTube channel. Your mid-mornings will never be the same.
The Christmas Caravan is brought to you in part by Hubbard's and the Food Fair Supermarkets, Gittins Healthcare, Sisson's Paint, and Bryden and Miners and Ace Hardware.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Long ago, the strength of Grenadians was in their arms as they worked the lands to get food for the table. Nowadays, most Grenadians' plate is packed with lots of starch and meat, little or no vegetables, plenty fried foods, and they wash that down with something sweet while sitting in front of screen. Hard work and exercise seem to be out of style, and lifestyle diseases are becoming the fashion of the day and claiming many lives. Let's make a change to live longer. Let us grow and enjoy a variety of natural and safe, fresh vegetables and fruits every day. Use our local fresh seasoning and spices to make our traditional dishes healthier and avoid highly processed foods, snacks, and drinks. Drink more water every day to help your body function better. Get moving every day and trade some screen time to share and enjoy healthy family meals. Choose healthy foods and healthy lifestyle. Follow the healthy choices for healthy living guidelines for Grenadians.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It is 18 and a half after 7 o'clock. We're still keeping our eyes on the U.S. elections. No, the marathon is not yet over. It still continues. And in the meantime, life continues here on the mainland Grenada. This morning, I have joining us is a man that needs no introduction. A comedian, an actor, a well-known face and personality in the cultural art form. He is one of the actors expected on stage when Heritage Theatre stages Patient Zero. Joining me virtually this morning is Robert White. Good morning, Mr. White. How are you?
I am good.
You're doing splendidly.
Good morning, Blossom.
It's been a while since I've seen that face.
The melodious introduction kind of caught me off guard.
The thing does take me spontaneously sometimes.
I know.
So, Mr. White, you will be in Patient Zero, taking place or being staged by Heritage Theatre, a cast of people that would expected to bring the COVID-19 pandemic to center stage, literally. Tell us how planning, preparations for the staging of this play takes place, where people can get tickets, all the information we need for Patient Zero.
Well, as you indicated, we are right at the home stretch in planning. We are now building sets and putting the last touches here and there on the production, and still at this stage looking at ways we could enhance what to me is already a good product, because you could take what's good and make it great. and I could take what's great and make it better. Right? So that's what we've been doing over the last couple of days, dotting I's and crossing T's. But we'll be at the Trade Center starting this weekend at 8 o'clock on Saturday, 7 on Sunday. This is something that we have always done over the years. We do the Sunday show 1 hour earlier because, of course, Monday's work and people want to get home within a certain time frame. Now, that production is one that is recently penned. Of course, the name Patient Zero speaks to the issue of the pandemic that we're facing. And the story is essentially around a family who had the exposure to the virus, and the intrigue and the drama, medical and otherwise, that surrounds this particular issue, this particular revelation, this particular experience. Now, something I want to hasten to add, you in doing a production or any production, the characters that are in the production, they must have a life, or they must appear to have a life outside of just the issues at hand. So, for example, the character that I play is a gentleman who has had experiences in England, very tough experiences in the early days. Interestingly, there's issues about the Windrush. That was a big topic just a couple of years ago. And that generation had went to England and was not treated the way they anticipated they would have, even after England invited them to come help us build after the war. And he has certain pent-up energies and certain issues surrounding that comes into play, even in his whole issue with dealing with the COVID and other things like that. And it makes him a very interesting character, right? And he has his persons in the family, and he has his own beef with people in the family as well. But he has people in the family that he loves and will kill for. So it makes him a very diverse but very interesting character. And I'm saying this to say that, one may tend to think, well, that's up there about COVID. What could we do about COVID? What could we make people laugh about COVID? We want to ask you to come because we have taken it from angles that makes it extremely interesting with respect to how the characters have been developed. And that's the point I really want to make here.
This play was written by Mr. DeRiggs, Chris DeRiggs, and directed by Neela Etienne. That combination of these two talented people, how did it play out for bringing the story out and bringing it to life?
Oh, very good, very good. Chris, as we know, is a talented writer, as you yourself alluded to. And it's the first time I have been in Heritage for 30 years. And that's the second time, that we are doing a production with Chris not directing. The first time we would have done that, Chris was not here. There was a period when he went to study in Sweden, and we decided to keep the theater going, and we did productions in his absence, to his delight, of course, because he didn't want the theater to look as though because he ain't here that we can't do anything. So we did that production, I remember, in Marisha House named Heaven, and that production was directed by Christine Clarkson. And Christine is, she's no longer with us, but meaning that she has died. God rest her soul. But Christine is one person who I did and even up to now have extreme respect for in terms of one of our Grenadian talents as an actor. No, the amazing thing, and it's sometimes even uncanny, Neela has a lot of Christine's characteristics. Sometimes even the facial expressions you see Neela, and I've seen Christine. The voice, she's like Christine. And now she's directing that production, and every time, and it's funny, I've never really told her this. It's the first time I'm going public with this. But every time she speaks and she gives some directives, I am just feeling Christine Clarkson. And that is taking me to a spot, to a zone where it is good, it is great, it feels almost spiritual. She is good. Of course, she has been trained in this. She has I think a bachelor's or a master's or somewhere there in theater arts and so. So she doesn't come as an egghead. She knows what she's about, and she's bringing her experience and training to the directing of this production. It's going to be great. So we had a talented writer, an equally talented director, it's going to be great. I promise you.
You mentioned Miss Clarkson, and I could understand what you're saying, because as somebody who has worked with her as well, she was just a classic act, and she would always her memory would live on, definitely.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You're bringing back memories of Camahan boat, working with Miss Clarkson for arts. Exactly. Tickets. Where can people get tickets to be a part and actually witness the talent that will be on stage? And tell us as well the actors who would be featured in this play.
Okay, so let me start with the first question first. The tickets are available, as always, from members of Heritage Theatre Company. We have tickets by, oh Lord, the name just jumped out of my head. The name just jumped out of my head. I know certainly from members of Heritage Theatre and the usual ticket outlets. Usual as in that pharmacy in Food Fair. Mitchell's Pharmacy. Oh Lord, if Cedric hear me, can't remember his business name. Cedric will done with me. All right. So we have by Cedric in down in Grenada. We have member of the Heritage Theatre Company. There's Art and Soul also in the mall. They have tickets there as well. In Soteres we have tickets by The Spot. All right, that is, well, some people might know the place as Newman Restaurant. The name is The Spot. Right, so go to The Spot and make sure you spot check and get a ticket.
I'm also seeing as well Treeby's Shoe Store. You can get tickets there. Yes, Treeby's Shoe Store. Yes, I think you've named the rest of them.
Right. Thank you for that addition there.
No problem. Always here to help.
$40. The tickets are $40, which we think is extremely reasonable even in this period. And of course, there's half price for children. But children, if your child is 12 years and over, then that's an adult as far as we're concerned. Meaning that they would be able to have an appreciation for the production, right? So we charge them full price. But under 12, you would pay half price. But if you have a child up to 5 years and so, 5 and under, that child will go in free. So as we say, that child will get a blind.
The actors and actresses. Yes, go ahead.
Right. So, no, just on the issue of tickets still, we are not opposed to us doing what we call group sales. So if you have a group of 10 or so, you can contact us and we could negotiate something on the cost of the ticket. It's an incentive for persons to come as a group, for persons to come and share an experience together. When you have 10 people laughing in unison, it is even better, I should say, than one person laughing by themselves. And you can remember, oh boy, we went to that show and we had fun, kind of thing, So we give an incentive for persons who would have that much of a friend that they want to come. Right? You can call us as my number is 4073884. Chris is 4073596. So 4073884. That's me. Chris is 4073596. And yeah, so you can call those numbers and we can arrange group sales and the reduction of the tickets if you come with groups of 10 or more. Now the actors. This time around, folks who have been following Heritage for a while would realize that we have quite some new faces, a blend of old and new faces on the stage. We have in the lead role a gentleman from Jamaica, and this is his first time on stage in Grenada. Right, Richard Beadle. And Richard is doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's a man who has been following Heritage from since he came to Grenada. He just fell in love with Heritage Theatre and our productions. So he would come to the productions. He would seek, audience afterwards and analyze and have conversations about the production. And, we say, well, Richard, come hang around. And Richard is on stage as the main character, a guy named Frankie Franklin. Right? And he's supported on stage by Dale Wilkie Bowler. Now, Dale has a very interesting past. Dale used to be with Heritage years ago. And I like to tease her when she had hair on her head, because now she has almost taken out everything. And then she traveled and you know, she had association with other theater companies too. I think she did some work with Uras Peters. I think she might have done some work with Ricardo, I believe too. Right? But Dale is back on stage with us doing as the wife of Franklin. And we have Rose Bagwan, very talented actor too as well. She is on stage as Lulu. We have myself as Gramps. If you notice, the beard and so is not just incidental. You know, I've always said, Blossom, that when we're doing productions, Grenada don't have a cadre of elderly persons, you know, or senior citizens in theater. So you want an old man, you have to make up somebody, you know, paint on a beard and all kind of things. And I used to always say to me, there's going to be a time when I'll be an authentic senior citizen on stage. No, not paint up. So I think the time is now. That's why I keep him a beard, because Gramps will be on stage, so Gramps will have his beard as well. And then we have Jude. Jude Modest is on in a role as the doctor. Jude is on. And it's a small cast, 5 persons, and that was deliberate too. Because, of course, you know, in the whole COVID thing, the more people you have to work with, the more difficult it becomes. So Chris was able to do a production that had just a small cast of 5, but very interesting production. I can't wait to get on stage. I mean, I miss being on stage, as you will appreciate. And now we get an opportunity now with this particular production that is so current. And I just can't wait until Saturday night.
When was the last time you were on stage?
I was on stage probably about 3 years ago. Yeah, because last year we didn't have anything here before, and this year actually. Well, last year into this year, we were doing this production, Julian Fedon. And then the COVID came, and we locked down about 2 weeks before we were supposed to open. And we were in high gear, you know, right on the home stretch in terms of preparations. So, you know, you feel a sense of, oh, Lord, it's like you're just about to eat a plate of food, and you just turn your back so to see what happened in the back, and when you turn back, somebody go with the food. So you know, I'm anxious and bursting at the seams to be able to go back on stage, because I really enjoy being on stage. It's a part of me, or part of my involvement, that I don't compromise, and I just love it. And I would insist on being on stage for as long as I'm physically and mentally able to.
I like that. So what can patrons expect? First of all, I know the COVID regulations would be in place. And secondly, when people attend, when the play is over, what can I as a patron expect to feel? Because COVID wasn't really a 100% happy moment for everybody. There are still trauma for some. But what should I as a patron feel when patient zero is over?
A sense of relief, an understanding of the issues surrounding COVID. And I'm not just speaking of the medical issues. I tell you this, the medical issues are what have been brought to the fore, but the stress associated with issues, the stress associated with being locked down, how do you deal with that? How do you cope with that? You know, let me call to mind here. After Hurricane Ivan, we did a production, Hurricane Ivan Rufus, right? But and that was a comedy side of things, you know, we mimic the whole flying at the roof and all of that. But we did also some playback theater, which is another style of theater, kind of almost impromptu style, where people came up and told their stories about the hurricane. And right there we listened and we reenacted the stories. And people came up to us afterwards and mentioned the sense of relief they got from that, from seeing their experiences play out before their eye. It's a means of healing and coping. And this is the same kind of therapeutic theater that we want to bring to this production. It's not playback theater style. It's actually a scripted production. But we have the elements that would bring the relief that we're trying to see. So yes, you'll see a little thing to laugh about. You may even see something to cry about. But all in all, it is intended to bring therapeutic relief to us and help us to cope with this COVID period.
The COVID protocols, regulations that we need to keep in mind when we attend?
Yes. So, and for that reason, we ask people to come early. We will start, as always, on time. If it's two things that start on time in Grenada, is semi-final, Calypso semi-final, and Heritage show. That is two things you know will start on time. As a matter of fact, Calypso semi-finals start on time one time, just to make sure they start on time. The band start up with the music 5 o'clock, and then after they take a break. Because the artist wasn't here yet. So, you know, come early, because we'll have to go through the contact tracing protocol. I mean that you need to write your name and all of that. We need to take your temperature at the door. We need to have you sanitized. And please, please, please come with your mask, because if you do not have your mask, then you can't play mask with us. Right? So please come with your mask. And even if you have the kids. Now, even the seating arrangement in the trade center is now reconstructed to allow for the physical distancing, 3 feet physical distancing. And that's one of the reasons why, again, instead of the usual, the trade center holds about 1,000 people, 1,000 to 1,100 thereabout. And in this production, we can only accommodate 300 per night, because of the physical distancing protocol that we are adhering to. So for that reason, we ask persons to please come early. Please get your tickets early too, because obviously seating is limited. And come early, because we want to make sure we comply with all the requirements of the COVID protocol.
Earlier you mentioned the play that was supposed to be held had COVID not happened, Fed on. After we're finished with Patient Zero, would we be possibly staging it in hopefully early 2021?
That's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Fedon.
Because we feel we are denied of an opportunity to do a fantastic production. I mean, we had some characters on stage, persons who were gracing the stage for the first time. You know, persons like Andrew Bezinski. I mean, Grenadians thought it was like, how you get Andrew to agree to come on stage and do a production? And he was doing fantastic. He was having the time of his life. And he still wants to do the production as much as we want to do it as well. So the plan is to focus on it again in the first quarter of 2021.
All right, and just to remind us, Patient Zero, when it takes place, what we can expect, where we can pick up tickets.
Right, so the production starts this weekend at Trade Center. Saturday, we start at 8 p.m. Sunday, it's going to be at 7 p.m. And then we do a repeat next weekend. That's the weekend of the 14th and 15th of November. Same thing. Saturdays 8, Sundays 7. The tickets are $40, and they can be purchased from any member of Heritage Theatre Company, or you can get them in the public retail outlets like Mitchell Pharmacy, Art and Soul, and 3B's in St. George's, and in St. Patrick by the Spot, otherwise known as Newman Restaurant in St. Louis.
Looking forward to it, as always, with a Heritage Theatre production. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. White. Have yourself a very blessed day. Continue doing what you're doing for the art form, in the art form, on stage, everywhere that you put your talent to shine, it shines. So keep it up.
Thank you, Blossom. And you have a wonderful day yourself.
Thanks, you too.
All right,
all right. So that's Patient Zero, starts this weekend. Remember, if you need to get your tickets, hurry on up. They can only accommodate so much people at the Trade Center. First come, first serve. So make sure you get your tickets. Play starts this weekend, and it continues next Saturday and Sunday, God willing, as well. Keep it locked. This is Good Morning Grenada. Up next, we link up with Junior Checkley for this morning's Traffic Cam. We'll be right back.
Bruv.
Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello? Ah.
Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Rubis is giving you more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
From Monday, November 2nd to Thursday, December 31st, GBN's Christmas Caravan will be blazing the trail of goodness across Grenada. Join us as we journey daily to find the hottest deals.
It's time for this morning's traffic cam, and this morning we're bringing you to the site that is one of the sites that is causing the major backing up of traffic. The project taking place on Marast Hill. That's where Junior Checkley of Just Cool Photos is at this morning with this morning's traffic cam. Take it away, Junior. We seem to be getting just a little bit of issue with the feed from this morning's traffic cam, not getting any audio from Just School Photos. But what I can tell you from the visuals that we're seeing, for those of you who are on radio, work out on Marast Hill appears to be progressing smoothly so far. The road has been repaired. Most of it has been repaired. There are people walking in the area, so that means it's sound. We're still trying to see if we can get some audio from the feed, but in the meantime, let's jam to a little Eddie Lovett.
Pack up my troubles and now throw them all away. This time, there's no doubt, I'm coming home to stay. I'm stuck on you. I've got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. I needed a friend, and the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. Guess I'm on my way. Body can stay. Stuck on you. I've got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. I needed a friend, and the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. Guess I'm on my way. Body glad to stay. Oh yeah. Get it. Hey. Alright. Christmas is big business, they say. And me a doubting. You see your land sun green, just pack up the grocery. Women always want you curtain, and the house want repainting. So the damn businessmen could win.
For those of you just tuning in, we're bringing you live shots from the progress of work taking place at Marast Hill. For the past few weeks, the roadway has been blocked off to vehicular traffic as reconstruction and repair rehabilitation work takes place. Just giving you a visual update on the progress of the project.
It's Christmas again. It's the only time of the year. It's Christmas
Through our partner, Just Cool Photos.
It's Christmas again. Children that be happy, eating things they never see. Christmas that unite on family. It's Christmas again. Singing. It's Christmas again. Come on, Lewis. It's Christmas again. Give it.
We do apologize for the absence of the audio in that live feed from Just School Photos. Hopefully we can get it rectified. But we're just giving you a visual update on the progress of work at Marast Hill. We will see if we can link up with Junior. If not within the next minute, we'll try this again next Monday, God willing. That's when we bring you Traffic Cam Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:45 a.m., giving you an update as to what you can expect as you head out on the road. It is now 6.5 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let's see if we can give you an update on the U.S. election as well, which is another activity that we're keeping our eye on. So far, the ballot counting continues in the U.S. presidential election race. Up to just after 7 this morning, of the 270 electoral votes needed, presidential hopeful Joe Biden was still at 224. And President Trump was at 213. Now let's go to CNN to hear their latest updates.
They don't. There are lots of questions that we have and that you have. We're going to keep getting you answers throughout this Wednesday morning. We'll be right back, right here on CNN.
Just taking a quick break just as we headed on over. They're about to take a quick break, but let me see what before me. I have lots of feeds going on in front of me in relation to the presidential race. So far there have been declaration of, I was going to say seats. Declaration of states. In a number of the states, there are still battleground states that the results are not yet in for. In Pennsylvania, Donald Trump appears to be in front with 55% of the vote so far, with 75 expected vote in. That's in Pennsylvania, 7 electoral votes there up for grabs. Over in Rhode Island, Joe Biden is in front with 59% of the votes so far, with 4 electoral votes at stake. And this morning we continue to keep our eyes on the presidential U.S. elections. I see Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden making statements. Hold on, Ollie, hold on. All I know how to do the thing as the thing comes. Let me see.
To call in the key swing states of Pennsylvania and Michigan, but overnight the president said the election was a fraud. He called on states to stop counting ballots and said he's going to the Supreme Court.
The battle over control of the Senate appears to be leaning in the favor of Republicans. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham held off their challengers. Democrats flipped Cory Gardner's seat in Colorado, and a Georgia Senate race is heading for a runoff. Democrats would need to gain 3 seats to win the majority, 4 if they lose the presidency.
Let's bring in a former Homeland Security advisor to President Trump and ABC News contributor Tom Bossert. Tom, we saw businesses boarding up, people expecting violence in the streets, unrest after this election. Obviously, we still don't know key results in this race as far as who the next president will be, but your thoughts?
Kenneth, my home state of Pennsylvania, as predicted, seems to be the linchpin still, so the Keystone State, I guess all eyes are on it. My thoughts are that I'm really proud of Americans, for the most part, on how we got through yesterday, and of my law enforcement brethren in the Homeland Security field. We saw some physical skirmishes, very unfortunate, but we didn't see any shootings. It doesn't seem like anything got too far out of hand. So at least yesterday and last night, we had a pretty smooth experience. But I now see that there's planned protests, and anytime that happens, they're good, but they also provide an opportunity for escalation. And so we're hoping to watch through for today and for the following week, as all of these close election results come in, that we don't have any kind of violence.
And that's some of the latest coming out of the U.S. presidential election race. According to reports, there are people out in the streets ready to protest whichever way the election goes. I guess the other party would not be satisfied, would not be happy, and either group is expected to take to the streets. So far, a number of businesses in some of the states have boarded up their doors and windows to avoid or limit as much as possible any instances of looting and vandalism that is expected whichever way the election goes. So we continue to keep our eyes on that. And in the meantime, we're going to join the BBC for this morning's 8 a.m. newscast. They're expected to bring some of the latest coming out of the U.S. presidential election. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Good Morning morning, Grenada had a little bit of hiccup, but we work around it. That's how live TV and live radio works sometimes. So we just go with the flow and see what we can do, what we can manage, and how we can bring you the updates and information that we need to provide. Let's join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Have yourselves a safe, productive, wonderful Wednesday.